And we are here. Hold up. Here we go. Yes, we are here. All right. So, I mean, what else is there to say, guys? It is a uh, I don't know how to explain it. It's a bloodshed out there. It is an apocalypse out there. The SaaS apocalypse or SaaS apocalypse of 2026. Agent X, CloudX is going to be releasing the marketing agent that's going to destroy all marketing companies. I don't know, but like there's still some green stocks out there for the most part. I mean, it is just a brutal day out there. Did memory stocks top? I don't know. We will see. I mean, we're going to do a really quick one today. What's going to happen is that I'm going to do a quick 30-minute stream, and then right after this, the CEO of Wolf, Gav, is going to have an amazing interview lined up for you guys. And then right after that, I will be live again with the great Amit, and we will be doing the Google earnings stream live along with, I believe, ARM is today after hours, and so is Qualcomm and a few other names. And really, we're going to get a really good insight as far as the direction of where AI is, profitability, from a mega cap perspective, and Google, which is continuing to take market share from the global AI traffic around the entire world from OpenAI. And we're going to see where that leads us. In the midst, I mean, let's take a look at some charts real quick over here because it does not look good at all. I actually thought that we were going to get some sort of a bounce into today, which we didn't. We immediately sold off as soon as the market opened. We have the SPY here just clearly under the 50-day moving average. And unless we get like a crazy recovery toward the end of the day, we have about 1 point on SPY we need to recover to regain the 50-day moving average. This is going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth time we're going to close under the 50-day moving average. And, I mean, that might hold things up a little bit. But the Q is just getting decimated. This is actually going to be one of the first closes, well, the second close below the 100-day moving average on the QQQs. And again, if this continues to have a downtrend, in my opinion, this looks like it's going to stay down here. We did have that save yesterday toward the end of the day where things started to recover a little bit. But since this morning, we gapped down and we've just been trending down all day long. And really, the brunt end of that force for the Qs and for about 50% of the stock market is going to be the mega caps. Ironically, Apple is actually green today, and you would think that Microsoft is going to be red today, but Microsoft is actually green today in the midst of that CloudX news. NVDA is down 3%. A lot of it has to do with AMD being down 17% today, heading toward the 200-day moving average over here. But you had outlandish strength of the semiconductors for a long period of time. And here we are on the first day where you have semiconductors underperforming software in quite a long time. And could that be a rotation? I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens over there. We'll see what happens with all of that. How is everyone doing? What is going on? Midwest Cannabis, my father. How you doing, man? Thoughts on inflation accelerating? I don't think inflation is going to be an issue. I don't think inflation is ever going to be an issue for a long time. I really do think that the narrative is not inflation. The narrative is Fed balance sheet recovery and what Warsh is going to be doing for the Fed. So I'll give my thoughts on that one. I've been giving my thoughts about that one for the last couple of days. So we will see. Alfie, how are you? Yep, Zeta is not doing good. I thought we had a pretty good recovery from the bottom yesterday, but let's see where we're trading at with Zeta. We are at 1693. Zeta is down about 5%, which is pretty good compared to a lot of other stocks. IREN is just, that was a massive fake out here, right? I told you guys, I didn't believe this. I didn't believe this random pump out of nowhere of IREN. They do report earnings tomorrow after close along with Amazon, so we'll see what's going to happen with that one. But, if you're chasing IREN up here, you probably made a mistake and you're probably chasing up here. This is not a stock you want to like chase or mess around. You want to make sure you're convicted of this if you're going to be in this one, because it is going to be a bumpy ride. And I mean, I said before when I was up here, I would not be surprised if IREN was in the 30s again. And a lot of people laughed at me. And here we are. Well, we're not in the 30s anymore. But guys, this can go down. This can go in the 20s. And nothing would change as far as the stock. It'll probably be in a better place. But if you have indiscriminate selling of a bunch of data center stocks, then this is going to get hit. That is what it's highly relying on. And on top of that, you have the double-edged sword over there with crypto basically falling off a cliff, making newer lows every single day. So, that's the thing you got to do. I'm going to go over a post that I made today. We'll see what happens. CRN, I'm grilling oysters at work for the guys. Oh, well, thanks for sharing. Just kidding around, Ray. It was a pleasure meeting you at Amit's meetup the other day. Prediction for Amazon tomorrow? I don't know. Pump my bags. Like I don't really know what. Just kidding around. I think Amazon is actually going to probably have 20% greater on AWS growth, but in this market, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter how bullish your thesis is. It doesn't matter how bullish your financials are. You're going to be sold if the market continues going down. Like there's just no way around that. And maybe for certain stocks like these are inverse ETFs over here. Maybe for certain stocks like Path is green today, but this chart looks bad. On Semiconductor actually had really good news today, not for On Semiconductor in its own, but there's actually going to be a merger of SciTime and Renaissance, which is both power chip and also fabricators when it comes to a lot of chip designing. So this is bullish news because that falls in the same sector as On Semiconductor, which is actually green. It's 3.5% today up. I don't know if it's going to hold. They're actually going to be reporting earnings soon, but the chart still does look bullish. That one, you guys know I've been in that one for quite some time, around 47. So we'll see. Did I see ENPH today? Yeah. I mean, it's like one of the only stocks that's actually up today. Of course I saw ENPH today, boy. Yeah. I mean, that one is, that one's doing pretty well. ENPH is doing pretty well. Didn't see that coming, but I'll tell you something. The chart has a lot of work to do. Okay. You get one really good day. It does not mean you're coming all the way back up here. Okay. Let's not get too excited. I think there are a lot of people that are buying Enphase down here, which is great. But there were also a lot of bag holders up there. But you know what, bag holder or not, if you are convicted on a stock, then by all means, hold on to it. But if you are not convicted on a stock, then like get out. Anything outside of that, that really is up to you. I'll go a little bit over that later on. What is going on, everyone? If you are on my channel, please head over to the Wolf Financial channel for the Solid Report show. It is youtube.com/Wolf_financial. That is where the Solid Report will be on from now on, if you are watching that one. But I will continue to stream a few other things to my show. But I mean, the main show is the Solid Report, guys. Monday through Friday, I'm going to be on here spitting some fire to you guys. Well, it is not fire today. It's a lot of ice that's being spat today. But I'll be try to share my knowledge, my thoughts on the market. And by no means am I like someone who's right all the time, because I am wrong a lot. But I try to make more money when I'm right and lose less money when I am wrong. And that is the name of the game, everyone. So I am streaming the earnings later with Amit for Google. You can watch it on the Wolf Financial channel if you'd like. It's going to be streamed there. Go ahead and check it out. And like I said earlier, Gav Blacksberg, who's the CEO of Wolf, he is going to have an amazing stream following this one. Let's actually I'm going to take a look at something real quick and see who's going to be on there on the panel later on today when Gav is streaming. Oh, wow. Hold on a second. Cade with Gary Cardone right now. Dude, like this is a lot of stuff to watch out there, guys. Definitely check it out. Cade's the Wolf Bitcoin channel is going to be over here. And I'm not trying to push it down your guys' throat or anything. I would recommend checking it out. If you're not really into crypto or anything, then it might not be your thing, but there's plenty of options over here for you guys to check out in case you want to see some great content. Cade is on there with Gary Cardone, Grant Cardone's brother, spitting some game on crypto right now, which is obviously falling off a cliff. But pretty interesting stuff if you want to be knowledgeable on that one. It's too bad the solar was booming industry until Trump. It wasn't Trump, dude. It was the interest rates. It has nothing to do with Trump, right? It has more to do with the interest rates. And interest rates were 0%. And a lot of people financed their solar panels back in the 2021s with 0% interest rates. So, if you can really just borrow money for free, essentially, then like, why not? But like today, you got to take 15-20% loans for a $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 solar panel on top of your house, which at the end of the day, the break-even point is like 2 or 3 years later. So a lot of people don't want to do that. The business isn't there. But, Enphase has a lot of enterprise contracts with big companies where they are able to basically build a lot of these solar panels in volume for these companies. And that is an Enphase bull case, right? So, yeah, Trump doesn't support solar. I mean, he doesn't support a lot of things, but I don't think solar's dead. It just might take some time. So we'll see what happens to that one. But they did have good earnings. I didn't get to review the numbers, but they did have good earnings. All right, so I'm only going to be here for 15 more minutes, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. We got some news this morning regarding the CloudX marketing bot. All right, and this is honestly, this is probably like one of the worst news you could possibly see as a software investor, and especially when you're marketing, namely Zeta. All right, and it doesn't really ruin the bull case for it, but in the short term, it's definitely going to have an impact on the price of not just Zeta, but also AppLovin, also Reddit, and like those things have been in a massive downturn for a while. So this isn't like targeted to the specific company, but what this article is really saying is that CloudX is actually a startup, and they've been raising hundreds of $millions of funds to power their LLM agent research. And they basically created a, hold on a second, is this the one that's from today? Yeah, this is the one that's from today. So they basically created a bot that does all of the marketing work you need to using agentic AI. Now, I'm not going to come over here and say that I know everything about this one, but you know, the headlines make the market move, and you're already in the midst of a lot of fear when it comes to a lot of the software stocks. And this just like literally adds fuel to that fire. Basically, the co-founder of CloudX is one of the people who founded MoPub, and they sold that to Twitter, and then that business was acquired by AppLovin, and then it'll shut down in 2022. So there's obviously a lot of importance when it comes to what this company is actually doing, the founders of this company, and they were able to create that agent. Now, I need to look a little bit more into this, as obviously it gets a bit more technical, but in case you guys want to check out the Substack, this ultimately is what was referenced that the market was kind of reacted to. If you guys want to check out this article, by all means, it gets pretty technical again, but at the end of the day, it does have some sustenance in the near term because everything is getting sold off as far as SaaS goes. But at the same time, guys, I mean, if you're long a stock and you really believe in it, then by all means hold on to it, you know. But I'm not a fan of just perpetually adding to positions over and over and over again, right? So if we take a look at the big one, Zeta over here, which I added to recently, like a G at 1850, and that the only G that this one got into was gravity all the way down. And I mean, you know, it's not a great looking chart. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this chart is like uber bullish, right? This is a terrible chart. We're closing here below the 200-day moving average. I added over here. I'm actually flat on the position now because I was adding over here. I actually added very heavy on this specific day here. And things are looking great here. And look, we're back down over here. You know, if you're adding down here, then you're obviously doing pretty well too. You have a lot of wiggle room. But, you know, as Stock Talk says, a low cost basis actually does help in the situation. So I'm not right in the position, but at the same time, you know, size it out correctly. This is a big position for me. But I'm willing to eat the drawdown, but I'm not willing to continuously add to this position and just throw capital at it because we have no idea what's going to be happening in the future with this company and so on. Nothing's ever guaranteed. I have a strong belief that's going to do well in the future, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the market thinks, and the market does that by pricing in the bids and asks for the stock. We're sitting over here at the weekly 50-day move, sorry, the weekly 50 moving average, or the 50 weekly moving average over here in Zeta. The stock has not been IPO'd for such a long time, so we really don't go for the 200-day. We don't have that much over here for the 200-day. The 200-day is all the way down here. The 200-week is all the way down here. On the monthly chart, again, we haven't been IPO'd for a long time, but we're under the 20 monthly. We are still above the 50 on the monthly. And if you look back here, it IPO'd probably at one of the worst times ever, but it is still trading higher than its IPO price. I believe there's some institutional buying in this stock, but you know, who is buying the stock is not the only bull case when it comes to something. You need to do your research. You need to know what you want to buy and what you want to own. Guys, if you're buying Zeta because I'm bullish Zeta, please don't buy Zeta. Okay. Do your research, do your own due diligence. You need to know that it aligns with all of your secular themes. You need to know that it realigns with your time frame, your position sizing, and so on. I can't dictate that for you. You know, and we need to be realistic that no one is ever going to know for sure whether a stock is going to be great or not. But what I can tell you is that For me, and for the research that I've done, is that I think this is a great company, and I think that it is undervalued, but the market clearly does not think so, which is the reason why it's down 4%. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that one. That goes for any stock. Don't follow people into stocks that you don't know about, because when it falls like this, you get scared, right? The game is not, your portfolio is not there to scare you. It's supposed to be how you express your beliefs and how you express your conviction through means of money, right? So if you think a stock's going to go up, you're going to put money in it, right? So if you don't believe in something, why would you put your money in it? I think that's the bigger question. And also, more importantly, risk management is probably the most important thing when it comes to all this, right? So you have conviction, but ultimately you're not going to make money until you put the money in it. Like, scared money don't make money. But more important than that, you never go all in on a company. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've never ever went all in a company before, and I see it happen all the time. And you could be right. You could make so much money and you could be happy. The problem is that you're not always going to be right. Okay. Like, you will be wrong one day if you keep doing that. Like, if you take a coin, heads or tails, right, and you win heads the first time and you bet heads again, you win the second time, that's a 25% chance at the beginning that's going to happen. But every single time thereafter, that's a 50-50 still. It doesn't change the dynamic of that coin flipping. So if you keep betting heads, right, the probability of winning heads all the time is half of that, half of that, half of that. So 50%, 25%, 12.5%, 6.25%, and so on, keeps going down, 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 down. Do you expect to get heads 10 times in a row if you go all in on a stock? You will lose. That's like a 1% chance. Why would you do that to yourself? That's why there's position sizing. That's why there's adding to a position. That's why there's trimming a position. That's why there's stop losses and everything. I don't have a stop loss with Zeta. Okay. Unless, like, we know for sure the company's going to go bankrupt. The thing is that I built that conviction over time by doing my due diligence research and looking all the dynamics of how the market's going, the trends, whatever. That is how you build a conviction. You don't build a conviction by watching one YouTube video. You don't. Maybe you can use that to help your research and then verify everything, because you always verify everything, but you don't build conviction when you take it from someone else. You build conviction on your own. And if you borrowed the conviction when you bought SanDisk at $690 yesterday, you are bleeding today. Okay. Please don't do that, guys. Don't borrow conviction. All right. So, talked about CloudX today. Where is hold on. I got to refresh this page. Refresh this tab real quick. I'm going to be on for less than 15 minutes. So after that, again, I'm going to be streaming the Google earnings later. All right. We had nuclear talks collapsing. Okay. So let me bring up something here real quick. Getting a little bit of recovery on the market today, which is great news. Great news to see. And just want to make sure I'm not going to get paywalled in this thing. Okay, good. So this is the article that came out this morning. And this is basically like why the market dropped very quickly, okay? Because there was news from Axios that nuclear talks for Iran and the U.S. were supposed to have talks about nuclear, about the future of nuclear and how Iran is handling its nuclear facilities. Okay, this is the reason why we bombed Iran in the first place, because we wanted to get rid of some of their nuclear facilities. Okay, we want to dismantle them, and then there's supposed to be some talks between it on like how they're going to be doing it moving forward. And those talks fell off a cliff because of exactly where they would be having the talks. But the non-nuclear issues is what caused the nuclear talks to fall off a cliff, okay? And this was a lot of FUD in the market. This spread fear very quickly into the market. Like the S&P 500 fell down like almost 80 basis points after the snooze dropped. The NASDAQ fell off a cliff after this. The markets are recovering a bit here, and it's very likely that it was just FUD. I mean, when a news outlet reports news, you always have to verify the source. But even then, take it with a grain of salt. I would not react to these headlines and just sell everything. But it was a bit of an opportunity to, open up some short-term long put positions in case you wanted to. I know some people traded that one. Shout out to Emp. Emp has been on fire today. Wolf Ryan. I see a headline here. Iran Foreign Minister Araki clarifies Tehran's position on U.S. talks in Iran. So this story is definitely still developing. My guess is that this is probably not going to be true, or the talks will resume. I mean, when Trump wants to do something, it's likely going to happen, and they're going to have this talks. They're going to have these talks. I see news here that Iran sources, we will not allow demands to be raised outside of the framework of the nuclear dossier in negotiations with the United States. Okay, so they're obviously putting up a fight on this. But look at the way the markets are moving right now. It doesn't seem like things are going to fall off cliff. But I would monitor the situation if you're like into the trading and stuff. If you're not into the trading, then it's not really a big deal. This could be an opportunity for certain stocks that are looking like they're very bullish in the charts. But again, guys, conviction is what matters the most, for sure. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one because we're running a little bit short on time here. Is the MI series not enough? All right, so Lisa Su reported earnings yesterday with AMD, and AMD is just like, I think it was down 17% at some point. Yeah, AMD is just bad today, like just terrible. It opened below the 100-day moving average. It was trading above all the moving averages yesterday. And what about the EMAs? Yeah, it was trading above, kind of trading and closed like right on the 9 EMA. But it just gapped down like below all that stuff. Like if that happens, like, I don't know, some of you guys, you bought AMD down here. Congratulations. So if you bought it down here, like I would not be worried about really anything. If you bought it at $90, like AMD is obviously one of the winners when it comes to AI data center build out, and they're a fabulous designer when it comes to producing probably the second tier general compute chips or GPUs, right? The MI series. Right now they're going to be releasing the MI 450 series, which is directly competitive, I believe, with the H200 chips. Obviously, NVIDIA has Blackwell out right now, Grace Blackwell, and they're releasing Vera Rubin next year. And, the next in line would be AMD, right? But there is a pricing power going on here, and AMD doesn't have as strong as a player in there. But Lisa did say that she's going to be growing data center at 60% growth for the next few years. So, like, that is obviously bullish, right? That's obviously bullish, but the market doesn't agree. I don't think this is an AMD problem. AMD has been on quite a run lately, but I think people are a little bit skeptical as far as where the AIA goes. Like, this is all really going to connect to this software apocalypse. I'll connect everything back together later, and it explains the reason why IREN is down like 14-50%, Nebula is down like 11%. Like, all of these data center stocks over here are down. It's like a freaking massacre for a lot of these stocks, right? And I'll connect all of that later as to why I think that these are down as well. But AMD is not doing so good today. But that was good earnings yesterday. It was good earnings yesterday, but the market brought it down 17%. So, like, this is one of the situations where, you really got to look into these numbers. But sometimes the finances and the fundamentals just don't matter when they're just selling across the board in software and in semiconductors in this case, right? The SOX is down 4.25%, right? 4.33%. And then you have like everything in data center getting massacred today, except for Dell and except for SMCI. SMCI reported earnings yesterday, and I'm still a little bit. I don't trust this, only because it's such a low margin business to build servers. And Dell is up too because they build servers as well. So you have like these specific niches within semiconductors that are doing good today, but then you turn around, you see SanDisk is down, Micron is down, and SK Hynix and all those memory names, Pure Storage, and all these memory names, like they're all down too. So, I don't think it's over, but it really depends on what the market thinks. Oh wow, the Qs are recovering pretty nicely over here actually, and SPY is back above the 50-day moving average. Wow, it happens all the time. Happens all the time. The market always comes back, supposedly. Not everything comes back though, because there is some deep red in some of this stuff. Crazy, some of these charts. Oh wow, look at that. Nebius is recovering pretty nicely. IREN is still down at 45, but this chart is just terrible right now. Yeah, dude. Ouch. Pretty bad. But the theme is still there. I don't think that the show's over. But you're not going to you're not don't fight the market, guys. Do not fight the market. Would I buy iron here? No way. No way. I would not. I wouldn't even buy Nebius over here, to be honest. This chart looks terrible right now. If the market's down like 10%, Nebius is going back to like $50. That I might be a buyer there, but I really built these positions. I'm not planning adding to it. So be that may, if it falls, I'll decide if I want to buy more later or not, depending on what other opportunities are on the table. Yeah, SMCI is back above the 50 EMA, and it looks like it's still got a ways to go over there. Oh wow, here we go. SkyT is down. They're supposed to be getting acquired by IONQ. Actually, IONQ is almost back at $30. Wow. DigitalOcean still doing good. Software is doing better. It's doing better. It's not doing the best. It's doing better. Snowflake is down. Holy cow. Wow. That's even lower today, even though the market bounced. That's crazy. Those earnings on Monday were insane for Palantir. I don't know why. Well, I do know why it's selling it off, but I don't know why it would be down 20% after those earnings. Maybe it could fall there before those earnings, but this is just another one of those cases where it's clearly the market just doesn't care. And it's a very expensive stock, so it's just mean reverting. But I don't know, what can this go down to? The 100 weekly is down at 96. The 20-month is at 111. I don't know. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Whoa! Service Titan is getting to IPO levels. Pre-IPO levels, not IPO levels. It IPO'd up here because it's oversubscribed. Oh, might be a little attractive. Wow. Crowd, last week had been downturn for it. Still expensive. Still very expensive. CrowdStrike. I don't know. That'd be interesting to look at. Fortinet's a bit of a pullback, but that's legacy network infrastructure. Okta. Yeah. I mean, all the fintech is getting decimated. There is no Robinhood problem. It's all a fintech, guys. Look at all this. Look at this massacre. All these charts look terrible. Probably the better looking one for dLocal. But yeah, crypto related, Affirm. Yeah, this is all just massacre, guys. Probably the better looking one too. See, now this StoneCo is in emerging markets. Yeah. Congratulations. I'm not buying Rubrik. I already have my position, but if you're starting a position in something, okay, I wouldn't argue about that one. But I don't know, where's the bottom? Where is the bottom here? No one knows where the bottom is here. We'll see. I'm not buying it, but I already have my position size on that one. I'll let it run. Hey, it's great meeting you, man. Great meet or girl. I don't know, girl or guy, but it was great meeting you. I apologize if I don't recognize the handle, but it was great meeting you. Why don't you go on Twitter? I did a post. Yesterday, just how grateful it was to meet all of you guys on there, girls over there. That was a great meetup. I'm just going to do another one in next month. I'll be at that one too. I believe that one's March 20th. I will be at that one. But if you're going to throw tomatoes at me, then let me know, and then I'll come up with a suit or something. But yeah, we'll see. Bob was in the 150s. Man, I've just been so knee deep today. I don't remember. I didn't look through a lot of these charts. I got to do chart digging later on today, but it's pretty interesting. There might be some opportunities in the market. Anyways, yeah, I'll roll with this for another few more minutes. Pretty much went through everything that I could in a very short period of time. And I mean, we have the Google earnings today. We have Qualcomm earnings. Let me actually pull up the earnings hub. Yeah, we got Google earnings today, Qualcomm, Elf, ARM. Symbiotic is reporting. That's a robotics company. Coherent is reporting. Wolfspeed, trash company, trash stock, is reporting today. Snapchat's reporting. I don't know which one of you guys holding the snap bag, but best of luck. I hope it goes up just so you can make some money off of that one. Novo Nordisk reported earnings this morning. Good gravy, back at 47. Wow. I don't know what to say. CyberArk reported. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting how it actually went down. I thought they were getting acquired. Oh, it didn't go down, but the chart's still down below 200 moving average. Yeah, but we're going to be doing a lot of earnings next couple of days. What catalyst do you think brings up us back to all-time highs? We on an index level, because my guy, we're like 1% from all-time highs. Like it is so like the Qs and tech look bad, but the S&P 500 as a whole is just like buy the dip moment. The problem is that they're not buying dips in high beta stocks. So I'm hurting too. I am definitely hurting. We're 1% away from all-time highs. What brings to all-time highs? I don't know. Trump sneezes tomorrow. Google reports good earnings. Like, I don't know. Brings us to all-time highs because we're already there. Yep. Great TIFs, TDs, touchdowns. I don't know. Super Bowl's starting on Sunday, so that's gonna be an interesting one. I don't want to look at any of this stuff on Sunday. I just want to look at the game. That's gonna be an interesting game on Sunday. But yeah, guys, what am I thinking? Play it day by day. I mean, the things are recovering here toward the end of the day, which is great to see. But we saw that yesterday, and then we got the rug pulled out. So take it day by day, guys. Take it day by day. Hedge if you need to. I know I'll be hedging. I do a little bit of trading during the day. So was able to reduce some losses today. It's very difficult to communicate what I'm doing because I do a lot of those in real time. And I would say, like, long term, just stay in conviction. Don't for me, like, swing trading, like day to day right now is difficult to do because the markets are just so choppy unless you're in the right names, right? So we all have like a paper of a bunch of names in front of us that gets repeated all the time. Palantir, Robinhood, obviously Zeta. I talk about that one a lot. By no means trying to pump it, do your research on that one. Alibaba, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta. We all have like these stocks in front of us, and there's a massive list of stocks that a lot of people don't know about that have been doing really good, and this is the reason why. I mean, Stock Talk has a lot of stocks that no one really ever heard of, and they're doing really good, right? So I'd say do your own research. You'll come across these stocks, and I wish I had the time to do it. I just don't. I don't have the time to do it. So a lot of my holdings tend to be like retail holdings because they're very popular stocks. Because I don't have the time to do like hours and hours of research. So I rely on multiple sources and then verifying the information as well. But like the 50 hours to dig into like 3 stocks a week, I don't have that time. A lot of people usually don't. But the price chart tells you a lot about certain stocks. Like what is green in a day like today is probably where you want to start out. But like what is green year to date, right? Or what has been moving up with the sector, or what has been lagging in a sector, right? So if you're looking at the semiconductor sector on its own, which sector is still moving up, right? It's obviously not the general computer AMDs or NVIDIAs. It's more of like the memory chips, the power chip segment. So you have on semiconductor, side time, monolithic power, MPWR. I think that one's doing really good. A lot of these sectors that a lot of people don't really know about. In fact, I could probably name more than a few stocks that a lot of people don't know about that are doing really good in this year. And a lot of people open their eyes to some names that Stock Talk's been talking about. LAU, that one's looking actually pretty attractive to me again for a reentry. I've only traded LAU only because like I haven't done the hours of research that I should be doing, or the tens of hours of research that I should be doing these companies. But that's bouncing actually pretty nicely off 230 today, which is very interesting. But yeah, like Amcor, I did a lot of research at Amcor to stay in that one, right? Because it got a little bit scary after they did their earnings deals at $30, but the conviction was there to buy more of it, right? So, there's certain companies where a lot of people are in that. I'm just like, I'm getting out of this. Like Path, I mean, I did research on Path, but it wasn't a core holding, and I got myself out of that one around 1450. So, here it is today. Yeah, it's $12, but like, I don't know where this is going to be, and I don't want to put my money there, right? So that you got to kind of choose your battles a little bit. And there's more than a few stocks I got out of. I got out of Snowflake after holding that one for a period of time, but mind you, I would not have held it all the way down to $110 if I were to do that again. And there's a lot of stocks I would not have held its drawdown if I were to do it all over again. But the stocks that are in my portfolio right now, I want to hold all of them. And I will throw more money at my portfolio, and I won't buy the dip to perpetuity for all of these stocks forever. I will sell at a certain time if I have to, if it's not high conviction and if it's not a core position. So anyways, guys, I got to jump off this one. We got a great stream coming on after with Gab Plaxberg, the CEO of Wolf. Go ahead and check that out. And then I'll be streaming